Hey, I thought I'd take you around the farm in the beginning of summer, and we're going to wild forage some herbs for tea. I know the garden's growing and harvesting season is on for the herbs that we planted, but it's always good to know what you have in your yard. Hey there, if you're new, my name is Cian Cosell and I am co-owner of Farmhouse Teas with my husband, whom I refer to as the farmer, and we hand blend herbal loose leaf teas here on our farm. So today I thought I would take you around the farm and we'll see what we can find that is growing wild. These are not things that we are growing on purpose. They are wild foraged, and yet they have plenty of medicinal properties. So I've got my handy dandy harvest basket here and my kitchen scissors. That's about all you need, and so let's go get started. First up on the list is this mullein plant. It's growing wild here in these rocks that have been dug out from the foundation of our house. The good news is that mullein is really good for colds and coughs, and so we're going to make sure we put up plenty of this for the winter. For now, I'm just going to grab one leaf and we're going to use that in our tea. There we go. Alrighty, I found herb number 2 in our yard, and that is some plantain leaf. Now, plantain maybe isn't the tastiest thing when you're making a tea, but it has a ton of medicinal properties. We generally use plantain externally on wounds. We use it quite often around here, but it'll work fabulous for some tea too. So I really hit the jackpot here because this is wild blackberry. We are in Oregon. This stuff grows like a weed. But you know what? Blackberry leaf makes a fabulous tea base. We actually use blackberry leaf in one of the teas in our shop, our Oregon harvest berry. Alright, I'm going to harvest a whole bunch of this and use it for a tea base because mullein and plantain, they don't taste fabulous, but they do have some fabulous medicinal properties. So I think that this blackberry leaf will go fabulous with those two other herbs. Alrighty, we got our stash. Let's head on to the next one. In the midst of our very messy flower bed in the front yard, between the rhododendron and the lavender, we had sprout up some of this Oregon grape. It just so happens that there are berries on it right now, and while those don't necessarily taste fabulous, they do have some medicinal properties, and they will also look pretty in our tea. So I think I'm gonna pick some of those, and then we'll go grab one last herb in the yard. I have found our last one. I climbed back here behind the fence, behind the barn, and I found a whole patch of wild lemon balm. I don't have any idea how it got over here. It appears that maybe there's some mint over here too, but I'm just going to use this lemon balm. It's a little harder to identify a random mint unless it smells specifically like spearmint or peppermint, but most times it's just like a common mint, so it's hard to pick out. So I'm going to harvest a bunch of this lemon balm, and I think we'll have a fabulous tasting tea, and it will be highly medicinal too. Got our stuff, let's go make some tea. Alrighty, we're in the farm kitchen. You can hear the teapot is starting to boil the water. And so we are going to take our fresh herbs and our berries, and we're going to put them in a French press and make some fresh tea from our wild forage around the farm. So first I'm going to put in these berries. There's like a teaspoon and a half here. There, you can see them in there. I'm just going to plop those in here. Now, Oregon grape berries are edible, but they are very bitter. So we're not going for the flavor profile on those berries, but they do contain a lot of vitamin C. Here's our bit of mullein leaf. I'm going to tear that up and throw it in here. This is good for coughs especially, and helping with anything that has to do with chest and breathing issues in your airway. Okay, I've got that put in there, and I've got a little bit of plantain. This is a narrow leaf plantain. Sometimes the leaves are bigger. So I'm just going to tear that up and put that in there. There are no measurements for this recipe because I wild foraged this. I'm winging this recipe based on what I have. Right, sounds like my teapot is done. Now I'm going to put some of that lemon balm I found in here. I'm just going to pull off these leaves and put them in there. Last but not least, we have our blackberry leaves, and these are prickly on the back, so you want to be careful with those. It is not like raspberry leaf. These have pricklies. If you fold it over the prickly, it won't get you. All right, that's ready. Everything is in the French press. Now we just need to fill it with water. Our tea is steeping. You'll want to let this go between 5 and 15 minutes. It's going to depend on what you have in here and your flavor preference. So there's not necessarily a wrong answer. You can let it steep longer if you want. Less may give you not as much flavor, so that is up to you. I'm gonna let that steep. So I hope that you found that helpful to know what is growing wild here in northwestern Oregon in early summertime. Now, if you wanna learn more about blending your own tea and dehydrating your own materials, we have a free tea workshop available, and that comes right through your email, and you can watch it anytime you want. It's a great way to get started. If you want those details, I'll stick them down below, and I will catch you next time. Bye.